Hello everyone, I'm San, and you're listening to San Huyen Podcast. We're back with a new podcast episode every Tuesday. You can listen on the San Huyen Podcast, YouTube channel, Spotify, or Apple Podcasts. Recently, I participated in an interview on the topic of financial management. Here, with Sonic, it encompasses earning money, spending, and investing. More details on investing will probably be shared in an upcoming podcast, but today, I want to focus more on giving advice to young people on earning money. First off, let's be honest, earning money is incredibly important. It felt like one of the main reasons I wanted to grow up quickly. Even when I was in middle school, I longed to earn a lot of money. I often thought that with money, I'd have more control over my life, I'd be more comfortable, and my parents would have less burden. The very first money I ever earned was when I was in 3rd grade. I wrote a poem and sent it to Ha Tin newspaper. Back then, it was a physical newspaper, a big, thick one. And it was pure luck. It was the first time I'd ever submitted anything, and it was also the first time I got published. The poem was called A Rose for Mom, dedicated to International Women's Day. I wrote it for my mother. If you don't mind, I'd like to read it. A rose for Mom. Waking up early. By the pretty window. Dewdrops sparkle on branches and leaves. The sky is so blue. I feel a little wistful. Running quickly to the garden. Choosing the prettiest bloom. A fragrant flower. Bringing it to my beloved mother. Without many words. Mom, I love you. I give it to you. It was a very short poem I wrote for my mom for International Women's Day. Getting it published in the newspaper was such a joy, and I was genuinely, incredibly happy. I didn't even tell my mom I'd sent it to the newspaper. I didn't think it would get published or that I'd receive royalties. But afterward, the newspaper sent a letter to our house. Inside the envelope was a copy of the newspaper with my poem and a note saying I should go to the editorial office to collect my payment. I was truly thrilled. The fee I received for that poem was 70,000 VND, everyone. At that time, 70,000 VND felt like a huge amount to me. My mom took me to collect the royalties, and that day, we were both so happy. This podcast is also airing on International Women's Day, March 8th, so I want to send my best wishes to all women, hoping you always stay cheerful, happy, optimistic, and love yourselves. When I was that young, only in 3rd grade, I didn't really think much about financial pressures. It wasn't until later, probably in my final years of middle school, then high school and university, that I gradually understood the struggles and hard work my parents put in to raise us. Another part of it was my desire to grow up and succeed. I didn't want to be a failure in front of anyone, especially my family. That's one of the reasons I pushed myself so hard when I was young. Actually, I'm still young, I'm under 30. For older listeners, they might find it funny that I keep saying I'm old. But compared to the 18-year-old who started venturing out to earn money, to now being 28, those 10 years have been memorable and have made me much more mature. Compared to many of you, I don't think I started earning money particularly early. I only really had more opportunities once I entered university. Before that, back in my hometown, it was mainly about studying, nothing else. Focusing on studies alone was exhausting. So, when I got to university and my schedule became lighter, I started looking for money-making opportunities. At that time, experience was, of course, more important to me. Throughout my university years, I worked and earned money through various jobs, like teaching the ukulele. I taught a 7-year-old girl back in 2015. One lesson, an hour long, paid 100,000 VND. So in a month, I earned 800,000 VND. I also worked at a fashion store where I did many things: marketing, photography, photo editing, choosing models, even content creation. I immersed myself in many experiences. I utilized all my time to gain experience, earn money, and find more meaning. Today, as I sit here sharing with you, honestly, if I hadn't been diligent during those days, I certainly wouldn't be who I am now. If your goal is money, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But perhaps you really need to act on it, not just set goals or dream about it. A dream will never become reality if we don't start. So, while you're still young, strive to earn money. Striving to earn money doesn't mean we're doing anything at all costs. It means we have a plan for it. For example, when I lacked experience, I considered unpaid work a way to gain that experience. But once I had experience, I certainly wouldn't work for free. Once I created value, I knew I deserved to be paid a fair amount. And gradually, I increased the value I could create and was compensated more reasonably. The goal is to earn money, but earning money must have a plan, everyone. When we understand the essence of money as an exchange of value, then we'll focus more on our own value. Around this time, many of you are preparing to graduate and are worried about your future plans. Where will I work? How do I find a job? How do I get a good job? I worked at about 5 companies before I became a freelancer and built my own team. And actually, out of those 5 job changes, only once did I have to actively search for a job. That was at the end of 2017 when I moved from Hanoi to Saigon, a completely new market for me. I looked for a job myself and found one within 2 weeks, 1 week for applications and 1 week for interviews. All other jobs, like my first one in Hanoi or all subsequent ones in Saigon, came from invitations or referrals from others. And that wasn't just the result of hard work, but also smart earning. It means we shouldn't just go to work simply to get a paycheck. I think it's okay, but perhaps we should look a little further than that. If you're currently working, I think you shouldn't just think you'll stop at that position. Whenever I join a company, I always envision my career development path within that company. What would be a higher position I could reach? What salary would it entail? And what value would I need to bring to achieve that position? That's why I constantly learn, I never stop learning, and I always do my best. Because when others see the value I create, they feel secure and want to give me more opportunities. And so, opportunities keep coming. I never stop learning, and that's how I can now earn money based on my personal brand value. That's a long journey with many stories, which I'll probably share in a later podcast. If I were to offer a piece of advice to young people, like from an elder, I'd say, create a smart earning plan. You should have a career development path, not just a monthly paycheck job. Spend a little less time on TikTok or Instagram and use that time to map out a plan for yourself. Truly dedicate time to learning more knowledge and skills, both what you currently have and what you lack in your chosen field. Never stop learning. I don't aim to perpetually live off a fixed salary from a 9-to-5 job. That's San's mindset. I don't want that. I want to reach a point where my money grows even while I'm sleeping. That was the mindset of a girl at 1920, and now I've achieved it. It's been a long journey, and if we don't have a plan, we'll always be waiting for that monthly paycheck. Of course, there's nothing wrong with that. Most people live that way. And I believe if you feel content, that's perfectly fine. We can go to work, get paid, then relax on the weekends, as long as you feel content with what you have. But for me, I want financial freedom. I want independence and comfort, so that even if I stop working, I still have a certain amount of money to live on. I want a solid financial security. That's why I have to look further ahead, so that one day, when I'm a mother, pregnant, and perhaps unable to work, or I can no longer fully focus on earning money, I'll already have a firm financial foundation. For me, money isn't a bad thing if we earn it through our value, use it effectively to improve our lives, and even share it with those around us, our loved ones, family, and friends. That's a great thing money can bring. There's nothing wrong with setting money as a goal and striving for it. But instead of just talking about it, we need a plan, a concrete plan. And that's what I truly want to share with all young people. Look further ahead if you want a truly solid financial foundation. Of course, some of you might think, my parents have earned too much money, so I don't need to try. But actually, money is an essential part of creating value. I think it's normal for parents to give money to their children. It depends on each family's upbringing. But I believe that for each of us, as we grow up, the most important thing is to become a person of value, and then money will naturally follow. But if we dance on a pile of money without creating any value, do we truly feel that life is meaningful? Perhaps at that point, you'll think more about this. So for my children in the future, I will provide them with good living conditions, but also teach them self-reliance, to live proactively, and to strive to create value. I won't let a young person become dependent because I believe that stifles their inner potential. Young people are incredibly capable. They have time, health, immense passion, and strong energy that they can utilize. It's not for nothing that Uncle Ho said, "Children today, the world tomorrow." You, young people, are the future of the world, the future of the nation, and you are truly amazing people. You have incredible potential, and if we simply give children money, they might not have the time to discover the good and wonderful things within themselves. So, our purpose can certainly be money, but even higher than that is the value we can bring, and money will inevitably follow. I see many of you working incredibly hard. Perhaps you haven't achieved the results you hoped for yet, but I believe that if you're striving with your own plans, you will surely thank yourselves immensely for this period of time. Dedicate time to learning foreign languages, seeking out lots of international information and job opportunities. Spend your weekends learning how to make videos, how to create podcasts, how to share with people, creating new opportunities for yourself. Dedicate time to talking with those who came before you, listening to their experiences. Be truly serious about your life, serious about becoming a person of value, and serious about earning money so that money can be a solid foundation for your future. I truly believe you won't have to struggle with money. Honestly, when I make this podcast, my biggest wish is that no one will be poor anymore. Of course, Vietnam is developing rapidly and striving to completely eradicate poverty. After the war, the country faced many difficulties, but things are improving significantly. Especially for you, young people, who are accessing new knowledge, particularly these podcasts, I truly want to inspire all of you to take this youth seriously and not waste it. If your goal is money, then strive to become a person of value and money will come to you. We can absolutely be pragmatic like that. It's a reality that we need money, but if we look deeper into the issue, becoming a person of value will clearly help you earn more money, and that's the truth. An employee brings a certain value, a manager brings a different value. And choosing jobs that align with your strengths, as well as market trends and demands, is also crucial. Don't waste any time just sitting around comparing yourself to those who are earning a lot of money right now. Instead, use that time to truly focus on the youth you have and put in your best effort. When I was young, I wasn't in a hurry to enjoy life. I wanted to try my absolute best while I could still endure hardship. Because at some point, when our health isn't as good, our spirit isn't as youthful, and our agility declines, even if we want to give our all, we won't be as strong as when we were young. So don't rush to enjoy life too early. Strive a lot. Don't be too easy on yourself. Push yourself to the limit so you can live the life you've always wanted. Let's not just wish and dream without acting. The life you want is still in your hands, it's just a matter of what you do with those hands. Maybe right now, you only have 2 hands and a naive spirit, but I believe you can do it. Take the first steps, as long as you don't give up, don't procrastinate, don't be lazy. You are truly one of those wonderful seeds. You have special potentials within you that perhaps you haven't fully discovered. We should spend time understanding ourselves better, learning more. Through learning and knowledge, we can discover ourselves and the world. Learning another language is knowing another life. Learning a new skill, whether it's photo editing, video editing, or communication skills, teamwork skills, there are so many things you can learn every day. And let me tell you a secret. This is a great opportunity for you to find work, because Vietnam is one of the most developing countries and is highly regarded. Vietnam has a very high level of trust from foreign investment. This is truly a time to rise like a dragon. I believe that in the coming decades, 10, 20, 30 years from now, will be the years of a strong and prosperous Vietnam. That's why I want to say these things, so that you truly are the important seeds in the nation's development. You are that important. I believe that each of you, right here, no matter how insecure you might feel about yourselves, no matter how much you feel you're not good enough, I still see the potential within you. And I truly hope you give yourselves the opportunity to develop to your fullest. Rest assured, money will come to you. Why should we choose to laugh on a bicycle or cry in a Rolls-Royce? We can absolutely laugh in a Rolls-Royce if we want to. Ultimately, money shouldn't be our most important goal because that destination is infinite. It's just a number. But it can be a goal you set for yourself in life. I don't want you to feel too much pressure about money. If we want that, perhaps now is the time to start acting, to plan your career, and to do everything as best as you can. Don't be afraid that you'll miss out on any opportunities you're pursuing. Do your best, and opportunities will come to you. Perhaps in the future, I'll share more about financial management or investing, so don't forget to subscribe to the San Huyen Podcast YouTube channel and like this video. Thank you all so much for listening. I'll see you in the next episodes.